Are you looking for a support class NC heroes that melee fighters hate
Get back here.
and love at the same time?
Good timing. Thanks.
I'm Controlled Chaos, and in this video we're going to go over just that. This build is either a defender or a corruptor, depending on whether you want attacks to be primary or you want the buffs to be primary. So if you want attacks to be primary, you want to go corruptor. If you want your primaries to be buffs, then you want to go defender. But let's go over the buffing part of this build first. This one is really interesting. It's kinetics. And this one works great because the first power that you get is transference. What this does is this drains the endurance from an enemy target and it heals the allies you have around the target. So it's a great way for you to do a negative effect on the enemy while positively affecting your team. I highly recommend that you slot this with 3 heals so you can really heal up your allies. Then there is siphon power. This one is great for enhancing your attacks. What it does is it drains the damage potential from your target and gives you a damage boost. And that's really good. So I recommend some accuracies on this along with some damage on this. So the next one is repel. And repel is an effect you put around yourself, and any enemies that gets near you bounces off of you. You just throw them back. And this can be really great because it keeps you out of melee range. You are very weak, so getting those enemies knocked back can be really good. I recommend knockbacks put onto this if you're going to put anything on it. And there's multiple ways that you can use this ability. You can use it just to keep enemies away from you, or if the meleeer is running into trouble and needs assistance and you don't have enough to heal, you can run up there, stand next to the meleeers, and it's going to knock everyone back. And this is part of the part 1 where it can upset the meleeer if you don't do this right. Next is siphon speed. This allows you to slow the movement and attack rate of your target while boosting your own movement and attack rate, which is really good. It's another offensive debuff and buff. The next one is increased density. This you cast on ally, and this protects them from disorientates, immobilizations, and hold effects while leaving them resistance to such effects for a while. It also makes it so that they cannot be knocked back as much, and or repel being used, or enemies teleporting them. So that's really good there. Then we have speed boost. Speed boost is a target nearby allies that will affect their movement speed, their attack rate, and their endurance recovery, which is really great when you have a bunch of people surrounding a bunch of mobs and you cast this on them. It makes it so that they can really smash down the attacks a lot quicker. Especially great for putting this on tanks. Your main tank, you want to throw this on for sure. The next one is internal reduction. What it does is it affects all near allies. It affects the heroes can jump distance while they're using this. So if they're having trouble getting around, it allows them to jump a lot better. Then there is transference. Transference drains an enemy of some of their endurance and transfers it to all of the allies near the affected enemy that you use this on, which is really good. And it also affects you. Same with transfusion, does the same thing. Then there's Fulcrum's Shift. This ability you target a foe and it will affect all nearby foes and will transfer to all adjacent allies. And this basically drains the power from the targets. It makes them weaker while making your team stronger. So this is really great to change the tide of the battle. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the attack powers. This is where you can really upset meleeers.
All right. No, damn it.
All of the attacks are from Energy Blast. And with Energy Blast, you're doing a lot of knockbacks on all your attacks. First, you have Power Bolt, which is a fast attack that does little damage. Then you have Power Blast. It's a bit slower attack, but does more damage and has a higher chance of knocking back by just a bit more. Then you have Energy Torrent. Energy Torrent is a cone effect in front of you attack short range that has an even higher chance of knockback. Then you have Power Burst. And Power Burst is a high damage but short distance attack that will for sure knock back the enemy. Then you have Sniper Blast. Sniper Blast is very accurate and it's long range, along with if you charge it up and let it charge up, it will do more damage. But if you use it while in the middle of combat, it's an insta-cast and doesn't do as much damage, but also guaranteed knockback. Then you have Aim. Aim will increase your 2-hit accuracy for a few seconds. And then we have Power Push. This is another one that will push your opponent for sure. And it sends them flying, but it does very little damage. Then you have Explosive Blast. This will hit your target and knock them back along with all other enemies in the area. It has a good chance of knocking them back. It's not guaranteed, but good chance. Then you have Nova. This is a tremendous blast that sends all enemies around you flying. It deals extreme energy and smashing damage to those foes. Now, for all of the energy blasts, I recommend putting a couple of accuracies in there along with a bunch of damage. I wouldn't put much into the knockback distance unless you really feel like you want to run around and attack things and you want to be a soloer, because the knockback will upset the meleeers, and the further they have to run to go get to their target, the more they're going to get upset. This is the part where it can be very bothersome, because if you're not positioned right in fighting things and you're choosing the wrong targets, you're pushing the enemy away from the meleeers, and this is where they can start getting pissed at you.
Oh, come on.
Now, with that being said, if you're positioned correctly and you're targeting correctly, you could really help out the meleeers. What you could do is when they go to run away and run towards another enemy or in a certain direction, you can adjust yourself so that you're in the path of that enemy, and you can knock them back towards the meleeer so that they can grab the aggro again and fight really, really well. And that's very important. You don't want to be pushing them further away and possibly into another group of mobs, because the meleeer might need to take a break, might need to rest to regain their endurance. And you don't want to ruin what the meleeer is trying to do, which is finish the fight so that everyone can rest up. So in this fact, what you could do if an enemy is running away is you can get in the way of that enemy, whatever direction they're running, especially if they're running towards other mobs. You want to get there before they get into that aggro range of the other mobs and knock that enemy back into the direction of the meleeer. It helps out so much. But be prepared to be sworn at or hear upset comments from meleers if you're knocking their targets and what they're trying to do away from them. They will not like it. Same with the repulse, but the repulse can be used to save them and protect you from a lot of damage. It's all melee damage because no one's able to stay around you for being able to do many hits, but it can be used correctly for that reason. So choose how you use these correctly, and meleers will love you.
All right, that helped. Thank you.
Choose how you use this build wrong, and meleers will hate you. If you found this guide helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe. Have a great day.